Nicole from Seattle. I am a huge Law and Order Criminal Intent fan, and I was just wondering if you had a favorite episode and or favorite guest star.
Favorite episode out of those 140 some episodes? Do you have a favorite episode?
Really, any of them that have Nicole Wallace in them.
Any of them with what?
With Nicole Wallace.
Yeah, those are very popular, yeah. Well, Olivia and I were friends for a very long time before she ever did that show. So I knew her since for a very long time. So we had a very good friendship. She was, we had a circle of friends in Los Angeles, and she was part of that circle. So we knew each other really well. So her coming on and doing that had a little something to do with me. And so, and we had always gotten along, her and I, and we had the same sense of humor and the same kind of, and we knew how to have fun together. So there's that chemistry in the show that really worked. So those were really good ones. But if you're going to ask me which my favorite one is, I did one with Griffin Dunn, where I put my foot up on the table and that whole thing, and that was Griffin and my idea, the whole thing, and we invented the whole thing on the day, and so that was early on. And every time I would do something nutty, the producers would make everybody take a break, and there would have to be a meeting over what I did. And so those were the fun days for me, because I used to love to try and go further and further and further until I could get them to get that meeting going again, you know. So the Griffin one, and then I have to say the last 8 that I did, where I went back and just finished the show off for Dick. I had the best time with Kate. And those we were always good friends for the whole show, but just that we knew that it was going to end after 8. Those 8 will always be special. And I love Julia Ormond, that actress. She's just so amazing to me. And to have her there for those 8, or for most of the 8, was really special. So I would say the Griffin Dunn one, the ones that you brought up, and then the last 8.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
We have time for 2 more questions, one on this side and one on the other side.
Let's go.
Okay, is that your question? That's an interesting question.
Hi, I'm Jamie from Seattle. It's another Full Metal Jacket question. The rumor is that Stanley Kubrick would make you do like 1 billion takes. And I guess the first question is that true? And the second part is, if you, as an actor, like how do you maintain intensity when you have to do like a ton of takes over and over?
That's a great question.
Yeah. I mean, I can only, there's a couple of answers to your question, and I'm going to give you all of them, okay? So, Stanley does do a lot of takes. But they're usually, when he's doing them, it's usually because of the design of the shot. That he's a perfectionist when it comes to photography. That's where he started, and that's where he ended, with photography. And so if there was a lot of, choreography in the shot, not choreography with the actors, but camera choreography, and composition was everything to him. So if that composition wasn't maintained throughout the whole shot, he would do it again. He treated every cinematic shot as if it was a photograph. And so therefore the composition can never change, can never not be what he wanted. And the minute it goes a little wonky, you do it again. So that's where all the take rumors come from. And that part is true. But Matthew Modine and myself, and Matthew did some stuff in the Vietnam stuff that took a lot of takes because some of the shots were very intricate. But when we were doing the barrack stuff, Arliss Howard, who played Cowboy, who's a wonderful actor, I love him so much, and Matthew Modine and I, like we averaged like the normal amount, like maybe 5 to 9 takes, like that. I mean, the last scene, my scene where I kill the drill instructor and then I shoot myself, we did that 3 times. we did my coverage 3 times. We did 2 shots of me, and then we did this special effect with the brains blowing out, and that's the only time we ever did that. And then he turned around on them and did them. So there's also the blanket party scene, which was really emotional, where they beat me up with the bars of soap and stuff. And We did that probably 9 times, like 9 or 10 times, and to talk about the intensity. So there was a particular song that I, back when I was that age, that really made me emotional. And back then I had my Walkman with me, you know, one of those. Remember those yellow ones? You know? Yeah. So I had one of those with the big weird speakers, and so I kept that in between takes. I would just have that song going, and I would keep my intensity up and keep myself on the verge of breaking down before each take started. And Stanley would always walk over to me and would put his hand on my arm, and he would say, "You okay?" He'd mumble it really low, and I'd say, "I'm okay." And then he would walk away, and we would start, and it would be like that. And so that's how mostly you do things in acting. It requires something to keep you up to that level, so that when the director says action, there's no jump from non-acting into acting, that it's a fluid thing. Like when the director says action, you're already there. You know what I mean?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Tia from Port Angeles. I'm here. You mentioned already working with Tarsem. He's one of my favorite directors. His movies are very mysterious and ethereal, and I was wondering if that was reflective of his personality, and if so, what's it like working with him?
Tarsem?
Yeah.
I guess he is, you know. I've known him for a long time, so to me he's just a guy, you know. But he's a very interesting man. He's super intelligent. He's not very social. We're similar in that way where, you know, we can talk one-on-one, but when there's other people around, it's difficult. Like this, for instance. But he's super smart, and so we have a kind of shorthand that we developed on this cell where he doesn't give me direct things to do. What he'll say is, he'll walk around the room. What was that?
It doesn't matter. Keep
I mean,
going.
right during my show, Chris Pratt has to show up.
They're waiting for you.
So he doesn't give you direct direction?
So he doesn't give me direct direction. So what he'll do is I'll be standing there and he'll come on set after a take and he'll walk around, he'll go in and he'll start saying stuff, he'll start talking. Well, you know, we have to do coverage of this other shot where I'm coming in over there, and he'll start spewing all this stuff and oh, wait till we do that scene tomorrow and stuff like that. But the whole time he's doing it, I'm just like tracking him. You know, he's like this big, and I'm tracking him and I'm listening to every word, yeah? And then he leaves. He goes, let's just do another one. And then he leaves and the camera starts to roll, and there's something he like has like a secret code that kind of enters your body, and he leaves parts of what he said with you, and it takes you through the next take. He's a very interesting man like that, you know? And it influences the take, like in a major way. It makes each take completely different. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I'm giving you a little insight to what he's like. And I think most actors that work with him will tell you, who have a good relationship with him will tell you the same. And as far as the artistry of what he does, you know, he's an auteur. You know, he's like all great artists. It's like art is a variation on a variation on a variation on a variation. Every piece of music, every painting, every piece of art that you ever see is just a variation of a variation of a variation. And you have to be a master thief and find with all that influence another variation. Take a bit from here, sneak in, grab it before anybody sees, and take this and take that and take that, and then invent another variation. And that's what he's really good at when it comes to aesthetics and visuals and composition and camera movement. He's very, very good at it. And the best are that way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was